I wanted to provide you with some video feedback so that we could have a conversation about how well you've done in your initial outline for your paper, and then how you can refine your focus and more appropriately address the requirements for each section in the paper. So, the first chapter in any fully fledged public relations initiative is a situation analysis. And in the situation analysis, you're required to explain and describe your client organization's background, mission, and values. So, you begin very well here. The Rollins College Wellness Center, I think we can abbreviate that, RCWC, is located at 118 West Fairbanks Avenue in Winter Park, Florida. The goal of the RCWC, or you could say the RCWC's goal, I'm moving a little slow, sorry, is to create a healthier, more holistic way of life for our students by promoting, educating, and providing services related to the 9 dimensions of wellness. So anytime you have a quotation especially, but anytime you're providing information that you're found somewhere else, you must always provide a citation for where that information was found. So we need a citation here. It's probably from the Wellness Center website along the line 9 dimension of wellness. To achieve this goal, the center provides a wide variety of services, including, so you need to describe the services the center provides. You need to maybe summarize the staff of the center. The center's goal is to create a healthier, more holistic way of life for Rollins College students. So that's your target audience. Although the RCWC provides services to optimize wellness along all 9 dimensions, somewhere in here you'll need to explain what the 9 dimensions of wellness is. Our team will focus specifically on the physical wellness dimension. To do what? So I see that you've talked in your paper about physical fitness and activity, rest and sleep, diet and nutrition, alcohol and drugs, and specifically stimulant abuse. So you have a very wide focus, and it's a process now of narrowing that focus. I would encourage you to delete the, pull up the paper here. I would encourage you to delete the reference to anything except for alcohol and drugs, especially stimulant misuse. We want to increase awareness of substance abuse and misuse on Rollins campus, especially with Adderall or similar medications that are used in an attempt to increase students' focus. We want to increase awareness of the negative effects sleep deprivation have on the body. I'm not sure how sleep deprivation ties into alcohol and drug abuse. I'm just trying to figure out how you would have a cohesive campaign if you include all of these different elements. So I encourage you to start thinking about how you can narrow the focus of your campaign. And then you make sure that you tell us what the 9 dimensions of wellness are. Although there are 9 dimensions of wellness, our team will focus specifically on the physical wellness dimension in order to increase awareness of the wellness center's services related to alcohol and drug abuse, or to increase awareness and engagement with alcohol and drug abuse resources available on the Rollins campus. So let's see, this is garbled, and it's not an APA style citation, so you want to do some work here. According to Ohio State University's Student Wellness Center website, physically well person gets an adequate one. Okay, physical wellness isn't capitalized, so we want to get rid of that. 7 different components to 7 different components. We can get rid of all of that. Focusing on alcohol and drug abuse, on the misuse of prescription drugs. I think even just focusing on Adderall and stimulants might be a little bit too narrow. I've talked to some people about this as well, and they also felt it was a little too narrow, especially since there are students on campus who have a need for their medications. So the physical wellness dimension is okay. I don't think that's any. I think you just need to focus more specifically on what you're going to focus on in your campaign. So I'm having trouble. Okay, there we go. Problem and opportunity statement. Current communication channels utilized by the RCWC to promote physical wellness include, so you want to describe what those are, current physical wellness resources and services are provided by the RCWC. You want to tell what those are. And then you would talk about, so you want to talk about the current communication channels, the current community resources and services, current messages communicated by the RCWC in the current physical wellness messages include. Okay, so the current, although the RCWC, other Rollins college organizations, a wealth of services and resources related to the broad physical wellness dimension, okay, we have obstacles and is. So the obstacles is a problem here. Be careful with your tenses. Although those what? What are those? Okay. I don't know why there's these extra spaces between sentences here. I need to get rid of those. So this looks good. A SWOT analysis, of course, you always indent the first line of every paragraph. The RCW strengths related to physical wellness include, I can't spell, sorry. What is our cause? So you want to avoid this first person phrasing. It's not our cause. So you are a public relations agency that is developing a fully fledged public relations initiative on behalf of the Wellness Center in order to promote physical wellness among the Rollins College student body. This campaign specifically will focus on increasing awareness of alcohol and prescription drug abuse, and even more specifically, we will blah, 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 okay? So you don't talk about your secondary research and your SWOT analysis. You wait until you get to the secondary research part of the research plan in Chapter 2. I think there are other strengths, include the wide variety of it's not our cause. Okay, you want to be careful and try to avoid using that first person phrasing as much possible. Okay, now weaknesses. You want to talk about weaknesses? Then you can talk about the opportunities, RCWC. Okay, there were several different aspects. 7 components. Alcohol and drugs is the component you're going to focus on, okay? So, the current wellness medicine, okay. Now let's keep going. Especially the alcohol and drugs component include and here we've got our again. You want to get rid of that first person as much as possible because it's not our campaign as much as possible. To partner, not partner up, but partner with during events. What events? Okay, we don't ever use words like great. We use words that explain why something is great. So, strengths, weaknesses. So this should all be one paragraph. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats to the RCWC individuals who, not that. Okay, never use contractions. Try to get rid of the we as much as possible. So good getting on your situation analysis. Now we come to the research plan. In the research plan, you explain and describe in your secondary research report. It's your job to explain and describe the results of pertinent research as it relates to the drug and alcohol component of the physical wellness dimension. So this should be written in narrative form. This doesn't belong here. This would be appropriate maybe for some type of a annotated bibliography. Area research reveals okay, so see how we can work this here. But anytime you use not only, you always have to have but also. Okay. Education early before students arrive where? Preventing non-medical prescription drug misuse. Who is they? You always want to avoid using they. You can use so I think you understand. So we just want to make sure that it is in narrative form. And get rid of those strange titles here. We can get rid of that. And a lot of very good research here. All of your research seems to be focusing pretty much on the United States would be capitalized. I think this might be dangerous. So if I am legally prescribed medication for bipolar disorder, I'm afraid you're going to get into dangerous water here, because people who are legally prescribed these medications, we're not doctors. We haven't done any examination. We don't know what situation those people are in. I would urge you to be careful about recommending alternative therapies or stopping legal and medical use of drugs for physical or mental illness. Since we're not qualified to make those kind of decisions, I'd urge you to be very careful here. I don't understand how sleep and rest relates to alcohol and drugs. You may want to expand to alcohol, but I don't understand the connection here, or with sleep. I'm just having a troubled understanding how these relate to the alcohol and drugs focus. So I would urge you to look more for maybe information about alcohol misuse. I think what you're focusing on is more of the misuse and illegal sharing of prescription drugs, and I think that's an excellent focus. I'm afraid that you're losing your focus when you say we not only want to talk about the illegal and non medical misuse of prescription drugs, we also want to talk about physical activity. And then also, yeah, that's right, we also want to talk about rest and sleep, and we also want to talk about nutrition. I think those are separate campaigns. So I would keep your focus on alcohol and drugs. I think you could expand and include alcohol. And it's the misuse and the illegal use of alcohol and prescription drugs. So we have a lot of issues here that need to be corrected. I'm going to provide you with a, don't ever use contractions in your writing, and I'll provide you with a tutorial that'll show you, that'll customize your settings in Word so that it will alert you when you're making errors. And I can get rid of here, we can get rid of all these extra spaces. Now we got rid of them all. Okay. So goods situation analysis, secondary research reports looking strong. I think it needs to be kept focused, so be careful in talking about too much. Publics and stakeholders. Not our target audience, but this campaign's target audience is the Rollins College student body. And now you need to describe the Rollins College student body. So I'm not sure what this is. So we're not talking about your campaign here. I don't know what this, if this is goals, it belongs in the campaign. Looks like all of this almost, I don't know what this is talking about, to be honest with you. Is it talking about a campaign? If it's talking about the campaign, it belongs in the campaign plan. Okay? And we use SMART goals to establish goals for our campaign, not to evaluate, so I'm not sure what we're doing here. Okay, well, we can maybe look at it again when we get over to the campaign plan. This should be 14 font. So let's go back here and look, where are we? The primary research plan. It's not our approach. Okay. This is what you're doing. This is your situation analysis. This is your campaign plan. This is all your campaign plan. And this is part of your campaign plan as well. It's the evaluation section. Describe So I apologize for some of the silence as I'm going through this, and I don't know how to get around it. In the primary research plan, your job is to describe and explain your plans for conducting original primary research. You have conducted your secondary research, so you have some broad information about the issues with alcohol and drugs on college campuses across the country. In order to find out information specific to the Rollins campus, you are going to propose, and you may do some preliminary original primary research using surveys, focus groups, or other methodologies to gather information about the alcohol and drugs component of physical wellness, Rollins campus. Okay, that's what goes here. And to be honest with you, this is what we're going to work on for your paper 2. So you don't need a whole lot of content here at this point. And then here you also need who you need to explain not only the demographic, psychographic, and behavioral traits associated with your publics, which is the Rollins College student body, but also the stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders? Clearly that would be the RCWC and its staff. And who else? Okay, now let's look at the campaign plan. The campaign plan, you are outlining the goals and objectives, strategies and tactics that you will propose that your client execute in order to produce a campaign designed to increase awareness, designed to develop engagement, designed to, I don't know what do you want to do, promote positive behaviors in relation to the alcohol and drugs component of physical wellness. So your goals should be broad. Increase awareness, develop engagement with RCWC, so your goals are broad. Increase awareness, develop engagement, improve the reputation. Your objectives should be SMART goals. They must be quantitative, measurable. So your objective could be to achieve 50 attendees at an event. Your objective could be to engage 100 Facebook followers. Your objective could be whatever it may be, but it has to be quantitative and measurable, attainable, and timely. Okay? This honestly just doesn't make much sense here. So, flyers. Okay, we're hoping to achieve our goals, but you don't tell me what your goals are. Increase awareness of substance abuse and misuse on Rollins campus, especially with Adderall or similar medications. To increase focus on what? Want to increase awareness of the negative effects that sleep deprivation have on the body. Increase your knowledge of the benefits of physical fitness. So you have a lot of content here. You want to stop saying we as much as possible. To gain, how will working in partnership help to gain recognition? I don't understand. I don't understand what I was likely to follow in the footsteps. So this is a cliche or a colloquial expression. Student leaders to push these initiatives. I don't know what that means. What are the initiatives? You need to explain what the initiatives are here. One powerful person. Who in the world would that be? Okay. So instead of talking about substance abuse and misuse, sleep deprivation, physical activity, if you're talking about that one component, it's alcohol and drugs, okay? Having one person speak about these issues will increase awareness. So if one person speaks about an issue, it increases awareness? I don't understand what that means. And a few flyers? And I'm not sure what that means. Okay, so one person's going to what? Stand in the quad and talk and hand out flyers? That's not goals and objectives. What are your goals and objectives? What are your strategies and tactics? So on the paper that you were provided, the template for your campaign plan. Okay, here we go. Theoretical framework. So, no, direct effects theory has been disproven. So this could be reinforcement. What is the message? What message are you repeating? I'm not sure what that direct to consumer prescription drugs. So marketing drugs is somehow comparable to a public relations campaign designed to get people to stop misusing drugs. I don't get the connection here. But that's okay. We haven't talked a lot about theory yet. I don't know if you wanted to talk about fear appeals, if you wanted to talk about reinforcement. So I don't think the I just don't understand. Much of this is very vague. Okay, Journal of Marketing would always be italicized. We don't base anything off of anything else. It always has to be based on. You can't base something off of something, okay? This doesn't belong here. Back here. Okay, they don't discuss that. This is not an APA format here. Okay. Our strategies are to social media campaign. So your strategies are to do what? So posting public service announcements is this is a tactic. Posting flyers, these are tactics. Okay? Strategies are broader than tactics. Strategies are broad statements describing how the strategies provide the guidelines. What theory is reflected in your message strategy. So our strategy is to whatever it might be, social media engagement, whatever you're thinking of here, what strategies are you talking about? When you actually are doing something like posting flyers or posting that, those are tactics, okay? Nope, your campaign begins. Now, this is a timeline for you to develop a campaign. Your timeline should explain and describe. Okay, budget we can work on later, and same with measurement criteria. Okay. Overall, you are great start. There are some issues you need to deal with in terms of refining your focus. So this would not be bolded, but it would be 14.5. Okay? Let me know if you have questions. We're going to work on this in more detail in class on Tuesday evening. I'll see you then.